Alright everyone, we are here with another off-season war. I have path 8 in section 1 and path 4 in section 2. Just going to tool around with this super Skrull using Tigra. Not going to retaliate any of her specials. I'm not going to push him to special 2 with a heavy. I'm also not going to retaliate his heavy with my heavy. I'm just going to be attacking him to keep neutralize up and let the ruptures and the damage and the suicides do their work. So just all I'm really doing is using Tigra as like any basic champion, and I'm utilizing her neutralize to prevent buffs from showing up, and then paying attention to when his miss is ready and either triggering it intentionally or hitting into his block to remove it. So it's a pretty smooth fight. You're going to see I'm not going to gain any power, but I'm not going to take much damage. I'll take a little more than I normally would just because this Super Skrull has suicide, so the block damage is minor. A little more than a season fight, but yeah, it's pretty smooth, pretty quick fight. I was actually at a Frisbee tournament for the weekend, so just kind of squeezed this in when we were done and in between hanging out with the team. So he's pretty much done right here. That'll be the last SP1, and he dies of recoil. Easy fight. All right, moving into section 2. I brought Storm to take this Korg just because of her workaround to debuffs being shrugged, specifically the stun. So every time I try to parry him and he shrugs it, it's just going to place a passive stun. And her attacks are energy based, so they avoid his thorn damage. So she is a very hard counter to Korg. We don't have to worry about this node. Korg doesn't place any debuffs, at least as long as we don't get hit, in case he has a resonate mastery for some reason. Then you see recoil there, so we have some suicides at play. The only 2 debuffs I'm going to get are from him using a special attacking from the node. So what you're going to see is I'm just going to power through and push myself to SP3. And I think, yeah, I forgot to charge the heavy before throwing this for extra damage. I did make sure to throw this while his rock stacks were gone so that we would do true damage, or the full amount, instead of his rock stacks eating it and capping it. So considerable amount. Now we got both stances up here, both tempests up. Forgot the word there for a second. And this fight is going pretty smooth. It was late at night and I did have a few drinks, and there you see I tried to block and unblockable. Happens. Good thing it's not in season. Luckily, if it was, it would have just cost me a few potions. And down he goes. So easy peasy hard counter. Moving on to the Surfer. I have used Tigra against Surfer before, and I have a nice little workaround, his SP1, where you dodge the blast, move in, and then charge the heavy so that you cause the board to miss. But as I said, I had a few drinks, so what you're going to see is me just never dodge the SP1, just eat a ton of SP1 hits. And then now that he's unblockable, you're going to see me just take a bunch of blocked hits. So I thought I was going to be safe here. You see I miss another. Oop, just backed up too soon. Got it there. We're too far away from the wall. Decide to throw an SP1 to try and save it. Blocked again there while he was unblockable. And there. So reaction time was a bit slow. And unfortunately, the 2 champions I brought not going to help with this fight. So we're just going to try and muscle it out with Storm. See if we can end him real quick before he uses his special and goes unblockable. So we're fighting to get to our SP1 here. He uses it, and down he goes. So, woo. Alright, I decided since Spider-Gwen was still up to go ahead and take her with Storm. She's actually a decent counter for this since the Cold Snap from her SB1 is passive, so that Mighty Charge isn't going to shrug it. So once we get our first SP1 in, we will be able to avoid evade pretty much the entire fight. Now, the work in, or the complicated part of this fight using Storm is that we have to be aggressive enough to push to SB1 consistently, but at the same time, we have to land some intercepts. And what you're going to see through this fight is that I just try a few backdraft intercepts and Spider-Gwen just isn't having it. So what you're going to see is just a bunch of true intercepts, where I just feel out the timing and intercept her when she tries to come at me. So here we go. We've pushed her against the wall. We got the Cold Snap damage or buff going on, debuff going on. She's not going to evade anymore. You'll see she dashes out there, but I was prepared. Trying to get a backdash here, and it's not working. She's just not being aggressive enough. So we're throwing SB1 just to make sure we keep the Cold Snap up. And even though it's minor damage, it'll at least keep her from evading. She's not playing ball. So I'm going to try here. Nope. Intercepted her there, truly. Got that SB1 in time. So even if the Cold Snap falls, if we can throw SB1, it's fine too, since it does activate a passive slow debuff as well. So we still have somewhat of a safety net. It's just a very tight window. And you risk, if that's even down for a half second, Spider-Gwen evading, and then you just getting her to block all of SP1. Still trying to backdraft her here, and she's just not having it. Not happy with me. Nope. Just prepared for it. And she's pretty much down, so I could just basic attack her, or just attack into her and let the damage over time do its work. And got an intercept right there to end it. So I was still pretty drunk for those last two fights and actually managed to get them pretty clean. So your boy can fight under the influence, except when using Tigra. But thanks for stopping by. Keep your eyes out for the next off-season war.